Well, you wore the right colors, did you know?
I knew. This is where I want to go. I wanted to be in blue.
Message to Cowboys fans, what are they getting?
You're going to get an ultimate competitor. You're going to get someone who's going to get their all for this team.
Micah Parsons is so unstoppable that his name should be next to it in the dictionary. And if you don't believe me, just ask the Rams. They have 3 guys who are going to be tasked with stopping Micah Parsons on this play, as the running back gives a quick chip just to slow Micah Parsons down for half a second, and they even have the guard offer help on Micah Parsons, which lets DeMarcus Lawrence rush free. So that alone should tell you how dominant Micah Parsons is. But still, even with 3 guys attempting to stop him, Micah Parsons puts a double swim move on this tackle. As you see, the first swim move doesn't work, but the instincts from Micah have him counter that with another swim move, which pushes the lineman into where they wanted to funnel Micah Parsons to, and after all of that, he still comes up with the sack. Micah Parsons, in such a short time period, has showcased that he's one of the most dominant edge rushers in the game. And the scariest part is, out of all the top edge rushers in the NFL, he's the youngest. So he'll be dominating offensive linemen for many years to come. Initially jumping onto the scene with a strong rookie campaign, Micah Parsons won Defensive Rookie of the Year, totaling up 84 total tackles and 13 sacks. And while his 2022 season statistically didn't change much, he was clearly faster, stronger, and more dominant than he was in his rookie season. This season he finished with 65 total tackles, 13.5 sacks, 14 tackles for loss, and 3 forced fumbles. Micah was simply disrupting plays and embarrassing linemen week in and week out. There are many ways Micah can attack an offensive lineman, but sometimes he doesn't need any fancy moves and he just explodes off the ball faster than most linemen, and he can beat them with his speed. A perfect example of that is this play against the Giants. And Micah's release is so fast that it doesn't matter if the tackle gets off quick. Micah simply ducks his shoulder and bends the corner on this tackle since he can't keep up with Micah's speed. But the true takeaway from this play was looking at where Micah Parsons was on his pass rush compared to every other Cowboy. That shows you just how explosive he truly is. The only thing better than one example is 2 examples. And here against the Bengals, Micah is lined up in a wide 9, which gives him space and time to utilize his speed. And here we see him look as if he's going to take an outside release, and at the last minute he cuts back inside, completely turning the tackle around while forcing Joey B to get rid of this ball early. Along the same lines of him being explosive, he also has an insane motor that allows him to never give up on a play. Here against the Bengals, Micah certainly worked for this sack. Initially he won the matchup by swimming the tackle, but Joe Burrow did a great job of stepping up into the pocket, allowing his tackle to get back in the picture. But using his motor to his advantage, Micah Parsons was still able to come away with the sack. So far, we have an idea of how dominant he is, but to really understand, I have to also point out that he's the only player in NFL history to have at least 25 sacks, 140 tackles, and 5 forced fumbles over his first 2 seasons in the NFL. Now, there have been a lot of players in the NFL, so to be the first to do something in 2023 is impressive. This season, his role on the edge increased significantly as he lined up on the defensive line for 81% of his snaps, doubling his percentage from last season. Micah also led the NFL in total pressures with 90, and that's exactly what I mean by unstoppable. It may not always show up as a sack in the stat column, but the number of plays that Micah impacts can't be accounted for. The Cowboys lack interior pressure, so sometimes the best way to get interior pressure is to have Micah Parsons rush inside. And here on this play, Micah gets chipped, runs through the guard, and still manages to get pressure on Daniel Jones. I mean, come on. I love this play here because the Cowboys weren't even situated yet, so this is just Micah Parsons being Micah Parsons. And we often talk about his speed, but we don't talk about his strength. And here he just bull rushes the center, causing Matthew Stafford to throw this ball out of bounds early. Micah also finished with the 3rd best win percentage this season with 22.9. And it's clear why in just his 2nd season, Micah Parsons has already become one of the NFL's most impactful defenders. Similarly to the last play, Micah wins here because of his unfair combination of speed and strength. Micah ducks inside and he's able to hook this offensive lineman while using his speed to turn the corner and shrugging him off at the last minute before sacking Kirk Cousins. When you think of the Dallas Cowboys, your very first thought offensively is, how do we contain Micah Parsons? And through 2 seasons, nobody has found an answer to that yet. Micah's skill set benefits the Cowboys in many ways. He's not only one of the most versatile defenders on the Cowboys, but he's one of the most versatile defenders throughout the entire league. Micah was a linebacker in college, and he split reps during his rookie season at linebacker and defensive end. And with Micah being the Swiss Army knife that he is, the Cowboys plan to maximize his potential to the fullest. Here on this play, Micah's on the weak side of the formation, so he is the guy responsible for the cutback lanes. So here, instead of Micah over pursuing, he throttles down and he's in the exact spot he needs to be in when Ryan tries to cut back. All of the little things in football matter, and if you mess up on the smallest detail, it could cost you a big gain. Here again, Micah's on the weak side of the formation, and this run is designed to go inside, which is not Micah's priority. So instead of being undisciplined and trying to barge his way down and make a play, he keeps his distance with the offensive lineman and he keeps his eyes on the backfield. And when Miles Sanders tries to bounce this run out, you know who was there waiting for him. And now here he's lined up in the linebacker spot because they're playing the Giants, and the Giants want to run the ball with Saquon 12 plus times a game. So they want Micah in a position to be able to make plays. The Cowboys commonly did this anytime they faced a dangerous team on the ground, but this play is special because of all the ground Micah Parsons covers. Micah initially bumps down, filling the holes on this RPO, and typically this is a completion since you are able to suck the linebacker down and you can fit this football right in behind him. Unfortunately for the Eagles, Micah isn't your average linebacker, and he's able to stretch out and get a hand on this to force the incompletion. All Micah Parsons does is line up wherever his coach tells him to and make plays. He leaves every quarterback and offensive coordinator he faces up all night game planning, and he still destroys the scheme. The Cowboys have a bright young defense, but Micah's the brightest star on the field. In this next season, I'm sure we'll see his role expand, while adding to his 26.5 sacks in his 2 first seasons, but we may also see his tackle totals rise since the Cowboys will be putting him in different positions all over the field. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check this video out as well, which is all about another defense that's expecting to keep up their dominant play. Peace.